Just going with the general session today, nothing planned as far as talking formally about the buttons. I can just review what we've talked about in previous sessions. The buttons are on their way as far as for MyLO, and the buttons will be the two, or there will be different options as a total, but for the buttons, there will be two, the general login for the portal link, and then that second link would be to each individual league's join and renew form. Sandy, if you wanted to go on to your question.
Okay, got it. So this is kind of related to chapter spot, but not the buttons per se. So there was a reference in one of the emails, and it might have been the email that you just recently sent or MyLO sent. And it talks about at the top bar, your login, where you log in, username and password.
Mhm.
That's to MyLO, correct?
Correct.
So that's not good. So how do we distinguish? Because we don't have members, we don't have a member only content. Okay. It's the only people that are logging in are me and a couple other people who previously were webmasters or people who, okay, so nobody else logs in.
Mhm.
That thing up there is not going to change, is it?
It will not. And so I can talk about two of the buttons that will be unchanging. They will be there on the login bar and on the login page. So how we have the login bar now, if I were logged out, as Sandy was saying, you would have, the login and a way to enter your password. So most folks might get caught by that. But what we will add on the left side will be chapter spot login, or we'll word it to be what we need to have, or what works best. But that should hopefully catch most of the people's attention. But once I will go ahead and log out. Once somebody,
I have the purple. I have the other where it's, okay, it's similar to this, right?
yeah,
so you have it at the top, right?
Right. It will be, as far as the layout, it is the same. Purple and gold and red and blue will both have that permanent button on the left, on this left-hand side above the logo. And then if they do end up on the login page, let's just click login and it should take me there. Oh no, okay. If they end up there, they might click register. So this is the other page that over here off to the right, we will add another chapter spot button, and it will have a little bit of an explanation to hopefully then catch anybody else who comes to this page trying to log in.
So is there a way, if you go back to where it was, is there a way to say that login to MyLO instead of like it, or is there going to be, so the login button for chapter spot, is it going to say login to chapter spot? What is it going to say?
Yeah,
Oh,
it'll say like chapter spot login. So that's why it will hopefully catch people's attention.
Okay, and is that going to go in the top bar or not?
On the left here.
Oh,
above the logo.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, that was really the only confusion that I had. And okay, thank you so much.
Yeah. Yes. I'm gonna go with Nancy, and then Helen, I have you next. Nancy, you're muted there. And I'm gonna go ahead and start making a list. I have Nancy, Helen, and then I saw Judy.
I have a question that's not about chapter spot. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else wanted to continue the chapter spot discussion. I know we can always take it up later too. Okay, Nancy.
I think there's a couple of others that have hands up that might be about chapter spot. You could check with them.
Okay, is it okay if I hold on to yours till after that, Nancy?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, thank you. Okay, Helen and then Judy, please.
So I just wanted to review what I'm doing and see if I'm in the right direction. On our page, we have a donate and join button already on the front page. And the donate goes that's no problem. The join goes to a page which explains and allows people to renew or join online or print out a form and send in a check. So my understanding would be that is still fine. And then my join renew button will go on that intermediary page. Is that correct?
Yes, that is where, and when it comes to that intermediary page, when you do want to have a button there, it does require you to make that change manually, but that's also going to be what I'll be reviewing in the special office hour sessions, and we can always review that today as well.
Okay. Okay, so is that the redirect?
So the redirect can be if you already have a link that it's most helpful if you're placing this link like in emails or online newsletters where those links to the specific form that you use, the links are live always. So instead of having to change that specific email or online newsletter content, with the redirect, it will, take this original link, which I don't know what it might be for anyone's specific league, maybe join-form or something. But it would take that link anywhere it's displayed and have it redirect to your new, we'll have the destination set to your new portal link for that web
Thank
form.
you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah, and if you have more questions, anybody else has any more questions about the redirect request form too, yeah. So, okay, I have Judy, Maddie, and then Mike, and then Sandy. All right, go for it, Judy.
You made the comment in chat. If it says chapter spot, that's going to confuse people. If it says something about league membership or league to log into the league something, but when it says chapter spot, people are really going to be confused by that. It's not our league, it's a different company. And I thought I heard that name is going to go away eventually. So why does it, I hope it doesn't say chapter spot.
I know that if things will change, I will consult with the National League too about what they think is best on the wording. Yeah, I know that term, especially chapter spot, is probably going to be moved out of being used. So I'll see with them. I think it's been more because of that's the term that we use internally that I've been going with that. It may still be what we start out with. But again, things will morph and take time to get into the best spot. So
I definitely agree on that
Okay.
member sign in instead of chapter spot.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate the comments and ideas on that. Okay. I have Maddie.
Yeah, so actually, I originally raised my hand to say exactly what Judy just said. So I second what you said about using the term chapter spot. Our users, I mean, they don't even know the word MyLO most of the time, and if we introduce chapter spot, it's just going to be completely confusing. And I'm sorry, I was a few minutes late, so I'm going to go back and see what the beginning was all about on the recording, because this is going to be a big deal, I think, for us to switch over. And did I hear you say that you're going to have additional specific sessions for working with us on how to set up our websites to do the membership correctly?
Yeah, I'm gonna aim for around the switch. So probably Friday and Monday to help support that process. Because during that session we can just even go over specifically, like your actual pages if you needed live help that way. But for the most part, it should be clicks of a button because the new buttons that will come in, you're essentially selecting which ones you want to display. Like I said, the ones that will be up in the login bar, that's going to stay there no matter what, as well as on the register page. It will be off to the right, and it will have a bit of an explanation so that if someone ends up on this page, it should hopefully get them going in the right direction. But yeah, as far as like an intermediary page where you want to explain maybe what membership is before they get to the form and all that, those kinds of changes do need to be made manually. So that would be the perfect time to do it during the sessions.
And you'll be sending out emails about those sessions and how to get into them.
Yeah. So I'll send out emails directly, and thanks to folks that have been sending me updates. If the emails that have been going out aren't going to the right people, just let me know and I can update those. But I'll send them out as an individual email and then into the Google group as well.
Thank you.
For sure. All right, Mike.
You say me?
Yes, go for it, Mike.
You want me to remind you about how I set up my draft page.
Yes.
Is this a good time for that?
Thank you. Yeah. So we've been talking about like having an intermediary page.
You want me to walk
And-
through why I did it the way I did first before you talk?
Sure. So I'm just going to show it off. Go for it, Mike. Or
Send
I
a,
have
send
to
a
be logged
draft.
in, right? Okay. All right.
I probably should start it off. So I tried to read all the material I could on Chapter Spot, and I was still kind of confused. And I know it's probably going to morph and change as time goes on. So I try to make it easy on myself and the members at the same time and not confuse people. So all my donate buttons and join buttons still go on the left side. So you're at the top so I can see what we have here.
Oh, up at the top there.
Everything we have now, the join and the donate come here. We have a fixed name that will show on MyLO that will always come to these pages. So I didn't change anything in my newsletter or anywhere else where I have this. I'm just changing the join and renew page. So if you now scroll down, I basically give a small, go a little higher, just a little intro. Then I show the video from the membership. I inserted that. And then I have the join and renew button or QR code. And then you have the membership portal under that. That's all I have. Now in the video, it explains everything better than I could. So I didn't do anything else. Now I might have to add another page later on that goes into more detail on Chapter Spot and what it is. But for right now, this is all I have. Again, so I know that we're going to have other buttons and stuff, but as you all are struggling with, I would assume, you don't want to confuse all of your members with all these buttons and how to do stuff. So I try to minimize it. So I'm done. And you can all ask questions. And I don't have the right answer. I wish I did.
Yeah.
Somebody asked me in a previous one why I put the QR codes down. If you scroll down, there's that little print button. And so then when we're on the road or something, you can print out this page and have people just do the QR code. Or if you're at a drive or something and you run out of material, people can just scan the QR code with their phone and join and log in. So that's why I have it on my web. Because otherwise, you're already on the logged on the page. You're saying, well, you just hit the log on. You don't have to go to your phone. But this just acts more flexibility when you're with a large group of people.
Thank you, Mike. And anybody can embed this video. You can also obviously have a link to it, but embedding it is a nice touch. Okay, Sandy.
So I saw in your email that you could submit a request to have a URL go switch over.
Mhm.
Okay. And I was confused by that because on my join button, when you hit join, it goes to a page, a generic, a join page, membership and what it means.
Mhm.
Okay. So when I submitted that URL in that form, does that mean it's not going to go to that page? It's going to go directly to the chapter spot thing?
Yes, that's
I didn't
the
mean to do that
okay.
then.
I can delete yours. That is no problem.
So if I
So
still, like Mike did, if I still want them to go to that general page, then I
right,
just put those the
buttons
new join
on
button on that
onto that
page.
page. Mm-hmm.
And you're going to give us like samples of that. Okay.
Yes,
So if you
yes.
could delete that. Okay.
Yeah, I certainly can. And so Mike has a great setup here to show an example of a redirect a case where you could use a redirect. So the join or renew here in his menu is his join page.
Mhm.
Um, and he would use that as his intermediary page. Then he also separately has the membership form here. This would be the page that I would recommend having redirect to that new chapter spot link so that this
Okay.
link specifically, let's say he has publicized it in online newsletters before or in old emails.
Mhm.
We redirect this link, and anywhere it is displayed, then folks will still get to your new chapter spot form rather than having to update this membership form page as well as your intermediary page.
Okay. Gotcha. So,
Yes, I was going to hide that membership form and not have it there
Yeah,
because it's now online.
makes total sense too.
You
Yeah.
know.
There's so many ways to do it. So
Yes,
however
which was
works
my
best for
complaint
you.
with the chapter spot transition team, but they should have gave us a template for all 700 chapters, at least somewhere to start with. But having us all do it on our own, we're going to get 700 variations. So
okay. So when I think of redirect, so somebody in our league said, should we have something that says when you hit that join, say you're leaving, you know, MyLO, League of Women Voters of Bucks County, and going to a different website?
There,
Because it's
there
really
was
going to the chapter spot. You're leaving our website. And my understanding is they didn't put that's not part of it. But don't you think people should know that they're actually leaving our website? Or
I get what you're saying, and I have been in email catch up the past few days, and I did see one pass by me, I think, where someone asked a similar question. I was copied in it, and I believe
that might have come from Arlie.
was it in
Yeah.
and someone from National did answer, but I can't remember exactly what the response was.
Well, the response was it's not required. We thought maybe there was some law that requires it, but it's not. But then our league was like, well, isn't that a courtesy thing to let people know you're leaving,
I
that
definitely
you're
get that,
leaving?
yeah, as far as a courtesy thing.
So how would that work? How do you do that? I don't know how to do that.
I think it's just about finding the right wording. And if you're wanting to just have them click away from your site where you are able to control the content that is above it, then you would just not choose to put up the new buttons that are going to come out, because the buttons that you'll have as an option with the purple and gold site, you have this built-in join button. One of the options will be if you turn it on for the new button, it will replace this one. So then that means if folks click join, they will immediately get taken to that other link. One thing though that MyLO does by default, when a link is outside of MyLO, it will open in a new tab and I can make sure to see if that's going to be the case for these buttons.
Yeah, but if you go
So-
back to
Wait,
that
okay.
draft I have of the join and renew, you can actually put that you can put that information there on that page.
What information?
Right.
When you get right
If
here
you're
with the join
looking
and renew,
to
that's
give
the one that
them,
goes to chapter spot. You could put down in text underneath the button, you will leave the our chapter's website, however you want to word it.
So
Right.
instead of, but there are, when I've clicked on something and something pops up, a window pops up, you are now leaving our website. That's different than putting language on the page.
right. Yes, that will.
And I don't know how you create something that says you're now leaving in 5, 4, I don't know how you do that. That's like a whole,
As far as like MyLO's built-in options, there isn't a way to do that.
okay. So it would have to be on the page.
Yeah, and you
Wording,
could
okay.
use the formatting too, maybe with a notice box, making that yellow background,
Mhm.
make it bold, maybe the special font too, trying to make it as like catching their attention as much as possible before they click onto it. Yeah, because
Okay,
I think
I
using
see.
the intermediary page will be probably your best option to then display your links or buttons and have
Okay,
a warning.
so yeah, please delete my submitted form request because I don't
Yes,
want I don't want to do that at this point. Thank you.
definitely. Yeah, no problem.
And I just ask, in relation to what we just talked about, um, if we're popping to a different site, that will open a new window, right? And in order to get back to our website, they would have to like go back to the original window. Is that true? I mean, it's because they might get lost there, or is there something on Chapter Spot that gives them a link to go back to where they came from?
Yeah, as far as chapter spot, I don't know what it will display, and how much control you'll have over what content is there. Um, but I have to double check about the buttons and how they will open. Typical behavior for MyLO is that if it's not, oh, and actually, sorry, now that I'm thinking about it, the links are portal.lwv.org, correct? I think
Yes.
they're all based that way. Okay, sorry. Then that is not an outside link because it is technically a subdomain of the actual domain lwv.org, just like our address is. My.lwv.org is a subdomain of lwv.org. So technically, portal.lwv.org is an internal link to MyLO as well. So that should mean that they will open in the in the same tab.
Now, if you go down to the portal, though, one of the options of the portal is to log on to our site. So apparently they're going to have a way to redirect it. But again, I haven't seen it work yet. But there is a button, if I remember in the video, when you go to the maintenance portal, that you can click on, besides your preference and your 4 vote 401, you can also click on this league, your own league, and come back.
Oh.
But again, I haven't seen they do it yet.
Based on just how they have I call them their league info pages. When you're Googling your league, you'll often see a page that's coming from the National League about your league. And the way these work, so the information that's here, we see your league website. I think this is a link to your actual website. Ask this local league a question, I think, is a form through the National League. But then we also see the league leaders. So all those bits of information, the website and the league leaders is picked up from the membership portal, the current database. I would imagine that it's going to work something similar with the new chapter spot form where the address that it'll pick up is probably coming from your own league's profile in the membership portal. So that is inspiring to hear that you'll have at least a link back by default. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and continue with the questions. I see Pam, go ahead with your question.
So I just a general comment is that I've kind of felt with this process that I've got either just way too little information in some aspects or just am overwhelmed with information in other respects. So a lot of things that we're getting from other leagues are things that I'm seeing all this material that's coming through from other leagues. You have to do this, you have to do that, all the different things you have to do. So it's hard for me to sort through and figure out like what's appropriate to my league versus someone else's league, a different league. So just that has kind of a bit overwhelmed me. And then I don't really feel like I know enough about the overall process in details. I feel like I've gotten, one little piece here and one little piece there, and it's hard for me to put together a big overall picture of, here's what's going to happen on February 3rd. So, I really was thrown for a loop because they changed the date. I have for months on my calendar saved February 1st, and now I hear it's February 3rd, which is scheduled to the max for me. So I don't know how that's going to work. So if it takes more than, a short time, it's not going to happen on February 3rd. So, I anyways, getting to the specific questions I have for today, I'm trying to figure out just how this chapter spot works with the rest of my website. So for instance, we have a members page that has special information for members after they log in. So I don't understand how that goes with the login for the chapter spot. Is that two different things? And how does that look on my page? I'm trying to figure out what, the Berrien and Cass counties is and trying to see on the tiny screen just like what's going on there, and it's hard for me to kind of figure it out. There's too many different terms that I don't understand, portals and logins and things like that. And I don't know where those are all going. I'm having trouble with that overall picture again.
Well,
And
yeah,
then how do people get to our, the join page for chapter spot? Do they get to that from multiple ways, or is that going to be approached from our website and the US website and the California website or whatever? How like I said, bigger picture is hard for me.
okay, yeah. As far I can speak to at least what membership is on MyLO versus what it looks like for the portal or for Chapter Spot, whatever we want to refer to it as, the new membership platform that we're moving to. They will remain separate. The MyLO membership is, has always been separate from league membership. No one has to be a paid member to have a MyLO account. But the main reason to use MyLO as a login and actually have your members have a user account is to use the members only portal, or not portal, but that section of your MyLO website. If you do use that, it will not, have any connection to the login needed for the new membership platform. That again, it will be separate. So if it
Okay. So let me stop you there. Okay, so right now our members have a password that we give them, but they're supposed to change it. I don't think anyone ever does. Anyways, we give them a password to log in, and is that going to be separate entirely from the chapter spot thing.
Yes,
So
yes.
they'll still need this password through MyLO. MyLO's going to maintain that somehow because that's kind of like part of the membership list on MyLO, right? I mean, I don't know exactly how that works internally, but
I'm
'cause
not sure what you mean by hold the password. I mean, the system will always know what the password is, but obviously the member has to enter it in unless their browser is remembering it.
so
Um,
so when we get a new member, I sign them up, online through our, website, and I assign them a password that I send to them.
mhm.
Okay. So that process still happens at some point?
And that's just for MyLO so that they'll have access to your members only. And that's completely separate from the member portal, the member platform that we're going to. Because even right now, the way that it works for league membership folks, that they have to, if they are using the MyLO members only, they have to create, the separate login for them on MyLO, and then they add them to the database as well for National League, and then whatever else they need to add them to. But they're going to remain separate processes.
Okay, so there's a membership list online, that I can access through our website.
Mhm.
And I have to add people to that. Am I still going to have to do that even though they're signing up through Chapter Spot?
Yes, they are separate.
So I still have to do everything I've always done, even though this is supposed to save me time?
The website, MyLO has always been a separate system, regardless of what system the National League was moving to. So unfortunately, it is just part of managing the MyLO website. And I just wanted to I'm going to pull up a sample site so that we can look at the member list that you're referring to, just so that I have a sample one to look at. Manage members is here. So if we have folks here, then this is how they would have access to your members only.
So every time a new member joins, somebody in my league, apparently not me, because my understanding is, I don't know, the president and one other person get notified that it wasn't clear to me who. And so they're supposedly going to let me know, and then I have to go through the same process I've always gone through to add them to this list.
Correct. Yeah, as long as your league is maintaining a members only, as far as having the content private on your site, then that would have to be a separate kind of onboarding process for that new member.
Okay. Okay, so the other question I had is how are people getting to the join thing from, for Chapter Spot? Are they only getting to it through my page? Do they get to it from multiple places?
Oh,
Just
that
trying
is a
to
good question. Yeah, and Pam, remind me the league that you're in?
Santa Cruz County,
Santa Cruz.
California.
Okay, so then for specifically California, we are going to show you the page that we have. We have a page where we list, find your league. We list all of our leagues in the state. And we are going to add a join button for each league. Because right now we have email, website. There'll be a third one for join. For other leagues, depending on what your state league does, they might do something similar. I think that was a recommendation from National, so it will likely happen for other state leagues, if not all. But as far as from your own site, and actually, one other place might be, and I don't know if this is confirmed or not, maybe from the actual portal. I, I think as far as like the general login, but don't quote me on that because I can't recall if that was confirmed or not by other folks. But definitely, at least for California, you'll have a way to do it from here. And we'll also change our join page since right now it is set up to direct them to our form. But we'll change that so that it will give them again an option of are you definitely looking to become a California league member, where that's different from looking for your local league and going that way, where again that would be directing them to that league page.
Okay, so are they going to, are all those links to my website for my league, or are they going straight to the chapter spot?
They're going straight to the chapter spot because this button goes to your website that says website.
What's the top button?
Email and
Email.
website.
I'm sorry.
Email and website are the buttons.
Okay, but okay, see, I get that the website one goes to my join page on my website.
Website goes to your home page, and the new join button will go directly to the portal form.
Okay, so they go to my website and then they have to click my join page link or pay, click the link to my join page, and then they go to chapter spot.
If they are clicking on website, but there will be a third button coming to say join, and that will go to the chapter spot link.
Okay.
And that's the link for our specific,
Specific, yes.
yeah, okay.
We have the list given to us by National League, so we are going to fill them in specifically to your league's chapter spot form.
And so they will, if they click the join, they will bypass our website entirely and go straight to chapter spot.
Correct.
And what does that look like?
That I do not know, and that's something National should answer.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and I really hope at some point somebody I really feel unprepared for this, and I really hope somebody gives me more of a big picture look at this that, as well as focused. I feel like there might be things that I don't understand that I'm supposed to do, or don't and haven't prepared for. So I'm just, there's, like I said, at once too much information and not enough. So.
No, I definitely get that. It does feel a bit like we don't have we have some pieces missing. I know that one of the big things is being able to see even just an example, even just a picture of what that form would look like. We don't even know yet if we'll have control over what the content will be on that page. We've heard that maybe there will be a link back to your website from there. So I definitely get it because it's not concrete information yet. Really not until we see it will we know what's going on. So, like I said, I will be letting you guys know about special sessions happening Friday, one on Friday and one on Monday. I don't know the times yet, but again, I will let you guys know in email and in the Google group about those since I would expect some more information will come, or maybe by the 3rd, we'll just be able to see the page and then we can, go from there. Okay, I had a list going, but I don't know. So I had Kathy and then Linda and then Roberta. Do we still have questions there, Kathy?
Yes,
Okay,
I do.
thank you.
My question is, my understanding is that the chapter spot portal login, you just need to register now if you're already a member, and then you'll never need to go there again except if you need to change your contact information. And it's a totally different place than the join renew link is going to take you. So is that true?
Correct. That is going to be, I think, based on what we've been calling like the chapter spot login or the membership portal login. that will be a button that will essentially live on MyLO. It will be right up here. And as far as the register page,
Wait, could you say, I'm sorry, the chapter spot login I thought was the chapter spot register page, but are you using that term for something else?
same thing. I believe those are the same thing.
The chapter
Login.
spot login and register the same page, but the join renew is different, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So my question is I don't see any purpose of having the chapter spot registration login button link totally accessible because people will rarely have to go there. So I was just going to put that. I have a join page actually, which I put my link in my draft in the chat if anybody wants to see it, where I'm going to direct everybody who visits my site to go to the join page so I can give whatever information I want them to have. And one of the pieces of information will be if you need to change your contact information, click here. So
Gotcha.
I don't really see the purpose of putting it on the top bar because I think that'll be really confusing because there'll be a login, a register for MyLO and a login to MyLO and a button for chapter spot login or whatever we call it. I just think that's too many buttons for people. I think they're already confused about the login because we don't require most of our members to log in. We just need it if we're going to be working on
The
it.
admins. Okay. Well, then I wonder if your league would want to opt for hiding the login bar.
Well, we need the login bar to log in, right? To be able to use.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
login bar is on every page of MyLO. So what you could have them, especially since you said it's just the editors, like the admins,
Yeah.
you could have them instead of logging into your homepage or anywhere on your specific MyLO site, they could come to the MyLO homepage, which is my.lwv.org, or the register page, which is /user. But you could just direct that group of your league to log in there. And that could lessen the confusion for your members if you would
we're
like to
okay.
opt for
Once in a
that.
while, we do have some members only hidden content that we used to use, but people didn't use it that often. So we're okay using it there, leaving it there. But thank you. But so I just wanted to make sure I understood that's two separate buttons, so I don't have to worry about making that portal one too prominent. So I think I had one other question. Oh, on the page that you were showing us from California where that lists all the chapters, I would rather my join buttons didn't go right to the join link. I would rather my join button went to my join page, or just don't put a join button there and they could find the join from my homepage, because I have information I'm trying to put on the join page that I want people to see. So is that a possibility?
I can double check with our developers. Make a note. Let's see.
Or just don't put the join. Maybe nobody wants that join button there.
We are adding it, but maybe we will have some control over what it displays, so that will just have to be like case by case basis. But we can find out to see if we'll have control over that on like which link to use there.
Okay, thank you. So the only other thing I wanted to mention about this join page I have, there's a lot of information. The team working on this feels it's very important to tell the people before they join. So I'm putting information there that we think is important. But we have to keep in mind that when they get the email to renew from League or Chapter Spot, they're not going to go to that page. They're going to go directly to the Chapter Spot join page. So anything you want to tell them, you have to understand that they're not always going to see that. So
You can see. Yeah.
That's it. I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I have Linda.
Our president seems to be of the knowledge that the only thing we have to do is put a widget on our join page. And in listening to all the talk this morning, I understand this is really quite different than what she's been set up to do. So I'm, as everyone else is, very confused about how all of this will look. When I went to the webmaster training, all I saw was a lot of show and tell and not any specifics. And I think maybe that's the problem right now is we're not getting specifics because it's not, it's kind of being devised in ongoing.
Mhm.
And like I think Mike said, it's really hard when everyone's trying to build a page or build a button or whatever, that all of the leagues will look different because we don't really know what it's supposed to look like. Anyway, so is it correct that when someone goes to the join page, there'll be a button or a widget? It's what our president keeps calling it. That will take you right to chapter spot.
That is something that, yeah, if you want to have it directly on your join page, like how Mike has here for his league, you know, you're able to give some explanation as to what they're setting up to do, and then set up the button itself for them to click from. That would be that's something you, as the webmaster, would have to add, but that is something that we'll also be talking about. I mean, if it's something that folks want to go over now, we can. I feel like we're probably more into kind of discussion right now. But you do have the ability to save a draft. You know, you can create a new page, but if you wanted it to be based on a specific URL, and have that unchanging, then just have, you know, a draft ready waiting
It,
so that once we go live with the changes, you can publish.
so if you scroll down to where Mike has his join button, his join renew,
Mhm.
when our people go on, they could click that and it will take them to the portal to register first.
That is how he has set it up. So essentially the way this has been added is Mike uploaded a picture. This picture
Right.
has the logo and join renew, and then he added the link on top of the portal membership link.
So that will help them renew, excuse me, will help them register
Well,
at
this
the
is,
same time.
I don't know if it's at the same time. I've been hearing that the registration process is separate. So there's an explanation here. After joining, the members can access the portal, and then this is the same idea where this link here is leading to the portal. And I'm noticing here, Mike, that the link, I'm gonna open it in a new tab so we could see the link bigger. Yeah, it is not pulling up the link you're wanting. Let me just copy it and we can look at it on a notepad.
Yeah, I've got to go back and fix that.
Okay, I just wanted to make
Which
sure you
I-
knew that. So the
yeah,
only thing you need to add is that beginning portion, this one here. Whoops. So you added it in
Okay.
like that. Just add in the HTTPS stuff, HTTPS://.
Yeah, well, I tried to copy and paste the correct links they emailed to me for
Yes,
both
yes. I
the,
saw that, and they didn't
and then I
include
used
that.
the Adobe QR code creator to create the QR code.
Awesome. Yeah, and it's a great idea to have it in there and then print whenever you need. And you can, you know, not worry about having to format a whole new flyer for your events.
So the people after February 3rd basically can be directed to go to our join page and then slide all the way down to the portal so they can register. And then they don't basically have to go here again until they renew, correct?
I believe so, or unless they have to update their information. I think that's the only time they have to come in through the registration page. But yeah, other than that, the join renew would be just every renewal time.
Well, if as you slide back down to
Mhm.
Mike's bottom there, instead of having just the word login, maybe porthole or porthole registration or something that
Yeah,
would indicate it's separate from all the other logins we're doing.
yeah, you can have it read anything you like
Anything
it
you
to be
want.
because it's
Okay.
an image that you can create first
Mhm.
and then you upload it to MyLO. Um,
Okay.
and if anybody does want this content, I can always help with transferring that. I think Mike was gracious enough to say, you know, if this is what people want, because it's a nice way to not provide overly too much information. But I think people would appreciate not going directly to that page and you know, it
It would
probably
be
won't look the same and obviously it's not going to be the same website. So it could be confusing.
That
it
would be
might be
great, because
nice
I
to
know
have
some
the
people,
example.
yeah, some people have already asked me, and I couldn't, because it's a draft, I can't send that out really well. So if you can
Right.
do that,
Yeah, I can just copy the content, make it a separate page, and then from there I can just easily clone to whichever league would like that.
now the
Um,
join and renew and the join buttons are the ones that I got from Chapter Spot Transition Team, so.
oh, awesome.
But you're
Okay.
right, the ones that, yeah, because they sent out a, whatever they sent out, and you get a zip file with all these in them.
Right.
But you're right, you can create your own.
Okay.
And
Is it-
because I inserted the link on top of the button, I guess one of the options is you can have it open in a new page.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
that
that's the
answers the
other
question.
nice part of having the control of, although you have to set it up manually, but you can specify that new tab.
And one last thing, and then I'll get my hand down. They keep talking, they moved it to February 3rd, but the cutoff date is still January 31st. So you've got to shut down your PayPal or whatever you have now to collect dues the old way. Otherwise, you're going to have the ability, your members will have the ability to join under the old process that has been discontinued. And then you're creating work for your treasurers because they'll be paying under the old system. And it has to do with that PMP refund, and it
Okay.
spins from there. So get with your treasurer and ask them when they want you to take the old pay method down.
Well,
Okay.
not all of us do just the membership that way. Like on our website, we sell t-shirts and that kind of stuff. And so we don't want to totally shut down Square.
Right.
So that this is getting more complicated.
I think in that in those cases, if you still need to keep the account itself, but just shut down the method for them to pay membership, you could just make sure that any Square buttons you have that are related to membership are removed from your website.
Okay.
So that should just be like, you know, going in and deleting that code that is
Okay.
generating it.
Yep.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
And thank you for mentioning that, Mike, because then I'll make that part of Friday's session so that folks are aware of that.
Yeah, because there's one thing else. I did not realize that you're not a renewed member or a new member until your treasurer receives the check. So that gets into, again, how they account for the membership.
Hmm.
So you get with your treasurer and figure out when the best time is to take that down. I guess that's the only thing I can tell you.
Thank you for that.
Can I ask Mike what the accessibility menu is on the far right?
I can open it up.
Oh, there you go. That was one of our gifts that we got from Emrys.
And I can share that again. I think that there might be documentation. It's really just a piece of code that you have to put in on your homepage. I think we suggested putting it in the sidebar, and it will appear always in the right-hand side. Yeah, I can pull up that documentation. Let me actually find it now.
Yeah, you explained it in one of our meetings.
Yeah, the button itself, when you open it, gives you all these different options for accessibility in viewing the website. And so just an example of the dyslexia friendly font, you can have multiple going at once. And it is just a free widget from UserWay that we can add on to our websites.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let me search it up and I'll put the link in the chat. Okay. First, here's the conversation. And I'm sorry, it has been difficult to get to the chat and discuss here. And that's the code. And actually, so I think that is one version. Let me actually pull up Dearborn's website. Do you guys have the same one? Okay, no. So this was the other version. So the one I just dropped in the chat is the round wheelchair image icon. And then, sorry, let's see if I can, oops, easily find the other one. I will take a look for that because I'm not finding which one. It might be easier for me to just look up on my UserWay account and then I can send it to you, Linda. Okay. And we can continue with questions. I know we're going a little bit over time, but that's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Roberta. You're muted there. Roberta, are you able to unmute? There we go.
Okay.
All right.
I want to thank Mike for the reminder that we should disable our current membership button on the 30th, 31st. I'm going to do that on the 30th probably. What I'm gathering is nobody has come up. Mike's done a great job on his display. I'm going to look at the video, but has anybody in any league come up with template wording for the new page? So we don't all have to reinvent it. Or is MyLO going to do this? This is one of the things that, I'm not happy with Chapter Spot about. There's just a lot of that we got to reinvent everything.
Totally get it. Yeah. So far, I think Mike has offered up his page as one example that we can use as a clone. We can clone it to whichever league that will need it.
I have a page. Sorry, this is Kathy.
Yeah.
I put it up in the chat, but I can put it again because it's kind of far down if you want to see another alternative.
Okay.
Yeah. If you could, please. And I'm sorry again, I will try my best to catch folks in chat, but if you are making like requests of the clones, please do just send me a quick email to either alebron@lwbc.org or MyLO at the same ending.
Okay. And just another quick question. As far as that Mike has the login, and did I hear that right for registration? Is that my understanding is that National is going to send out an email to everybody, all members, and asking them to register one time, log on to the site. Are we talking the same thing, Mike?
I believe so.
Yes, that's some of
Why you have
the angst that I have because I haven't seen that letter. I was given the two links, and I was confused, and the answer I got back, one is for registration, join and renew, and the other one is to manage the portal. But I'm just in the dark on that also. I don't know what that letter says.
Okay. Okay. Well, I guess I feel better because I've been feeling I've been very in the dark, and I wear a lot of hats with our league, and I'm not the only one in the dark.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, no. And again, this is my frustration, which I've sent numerous emails, is that, one, they don't know who the webmasters are, which I thought was just tragic. And two, they think all they have to do is give us links and it's all done. But we have to create pages like Kathy has up here that explains what's going on.
Right.
And you've got to pick through it. And Kathy's done a great job here when I looked at it, but you're right, they should be giving us templates for this that we could at least have some place to start with, and they're not. So again, this is my frustration, but as Amaris said, it's a learning, we're all going to go through this together and hopefully, just keep I guess, a positive attitude and try to keep moving forward. But this is great, Kathy. I thank you for putting this out.
Yeah.
I was
and this
thinking
is
of
another
creating
one
a
too.
separate page for this next to the join and renew.
Yeah, this is what I'm going to use to replace what's there now. And I have it live. It's just not linked to anything. I'll have to change the title but I just wanted to be able to send it to people on my team to see if there's anything else they want to add, and so it has to be published.
My issues that I had with my wife's mind so brief because I just didn't want to confuse people. I mean,
Yeah.
I just said, well, what do they need to know to join and renew and about the portal? And that's what I put in it. But I know somebody's going to come back and say, where's the rest of the stuff?
Yeah, that's why I put the join renew at the top, so they could just go to that if they want. But there's a lot of information there if they want more information.
Yeah, I think that it serves both or all kinds of league members, the ones who just want to get right to it and the ones that are like, hold on, where is all of this going? What's the need for the change and all that? So yeah, I will have both of these Kathy's and Mike's as separate pages that we can clone from for anybody that would like them.
One quick question, Kathy.
Sure.
You said you have a join button that doesn't lead you to this page, that they can just go right to the chapter spot page? Or does it go to this page?
Right now, my join button goes to what we currently do. So this is just this is going to replace my join button, but the
Gotcha.
join button, this join renew link, that the little red thing that's showing there.
Okay.
See, that's my current one, and I'm replacing it with this. Anyway, so
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
but the join renew button, I don't have the correct link yet because my treasurer hasn't sent it to me yet. So it's right now that join renew button is going to go to where they will join renew on the chapter spot site, but it doesn't go there now. I just have a placeholder in there now.
Okay, thank you.
Connie.
Thank you very much for hosting us and your patience with all of our questions. I have two questions. One is, can we have other URLs redirected to our join page?
Yeah, any URL you want redirected. The destination is always just going to be to your portal link or the new join form link.
No, that's what I'm talking about. So we have a join page that we're going to create. We're going to edit, like Mike did, to be an intermediary page. But I have other pages we have a separate join and a separate renew that has our actual forms on it. I would like those URLs to redirect to our basic join page, which will be our intermediary page.
Gotcha.
Is that possible?
Yeah, that just email me about that.
Okay,
and
perfect.
I can do that separately.
Okay, perfect. And my second question is, we would like to leave our join renew buttons at the top. They will just be changed so that one is join/renew and that goes to our new landing page. And then the other one would become a donate button. Is that going to be possible, or will the new template buttons replace that?
And remind me which league you're with?
Alachua County, Florida.
Okay. And it sounds like you have join and renew, like they're different from the typical donate and join. Okay.
Yeah, so we have join, renew, and then in our sidebar we have donate. What I would like to do is make join/renew, because now they won't be separate, and leave the renew one as a donate. and redirect directly to our PayPal or our donate page.
Okay, I will have to see about that because it is typically these buttons are supposed to be side by side on my
And
browser. I
normally
don't know. Yeah,
I
on
was
my
gonna say,
browser
normally
they
they
look a
are.
little, they look funky. My browser, I don't know what's wrong with it, but
Okay. Normally they're side by side.
the physical space that there is that to prevent them from being pushed on top of each other like this, I think it's because I'm zoomed in. But join/renew might be too long for one button.
Okay.
But I will look into that. It shouldn't be too hard to figure out what that would look like.
But will that be overridden by the new buttons that you're launching? Or are those just
only your join button would. But and and also since this is custom from what the global look, I guess, of the buttons is like the donate and the join. Since this is a custom set of header buttons, we may have to actually make custom changes directly to it. So
okay.
yeah, I will look into both of those things, seeing what we can do with join/renew and you know, making changes. If we're not able to make both join and renew happen, would well, we can also I can talk to you about it in email and let you know if
Okay.
it can happen or not.
Yeah. And just FYI for the group, in addition to our intermediary page, we have a web article, which is actually the top article on our homepage, that is all about this transition. And I will link out to that from our intermediary page so that for those people who want all that detail, they can go get it. Just FYI. That's how
Awesome.
I'm handling that.
And their website is lwvalachua.org if you wanted to take a peek.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Mary Jo.
Yeah, hi, thanks. Going back to what California's doing at the state level, did Mike or someone say that the states have been highly encouraged to do that? Because I like that idea.
Yeah, I heard that. That was a comment from me. I heard that from one of my coworkers, and she's essentially our membership management person on staff, and so she was the one who let me know that.
Because frankly, if of course ours won't happen until June or so, but frankly, if ours isn't working properly, they can always go to the state, right? I mean, theoretically. Okay. Well, my note says, I assume that we will get directions when we receive. Oh, so when we get our email, when all the members get their email the week of February 3rd, we will answer the questions. And then I'm assuming that there will be some direction about where to go if you want to change any of that information. And, you know, maybe that will help guide us in deciding how much information we want to put on our website. I don't know. And then, so I see that, you know, two of our people here have already gone in and done some changes. It does seem reasonable that that the league could come up with some sample language. And you're talking to them, right, Amarise?
I am in a bit of communication with them, yeah.
I mean, it just seems like a logical logical request. I mean, some of us have our own individual stuff, you know, why you should join, all that stuff. But we're going to have to go in on our website and, you know, delete a lot of our stuff because we're not going to be putting in stuff about how much we charge and all that. And I'm just saying, it seems like there should be some sample language for our website. Am I crazy?
No, I've
I
asked
can put
that
out the
question several
question.
times.
Oh, you have?
Yes.
But I'm
in
saying,
emails. But the other thing is too, I asked, because obviously in the new chapter spot, you can create your own website through them.
right.
And so I got
So I wonder if they're doing
more,
that for them.
so that's what I got more direct and said, well, just give me that sample page then that you have on your new site we're going to create if we choose that. And it
Well,
got real quiet.
Yeah, so
So-
Anne-Maurice could ask about that too. Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. I like Kathleen's looked really good. Anyway, okay. So, and then my last question was, I heard people talking about a join renew button. Why are we talking about a renew button? All the renews are going to go through national.
Right.
So
Yeah.
why are we talking about join renew buttons?
I think it was just so that folks aren't confused, because this league specifically has two separate join and then one for renew.
But you'd
So
get rid of the renew.
Right.
Okay.
But our members are used to renew.
yeah.
Well, they're going to have to get used to a new way. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I'm going.
All right, Maddie.
Yeah, so just a couple of things. We have a red and blue website as opposed to a purple and gold. And so we don't have the buttons at the top, but we do have them in our sidebar. And I have a donate bar and a join the league bar, which go to the pages within our website. Is anything going to happen automatically to those buttons in the sidebar, or do I have control over those?
Yeah, I'm trying to find one that has a red and there we go. So there is going to be where the text is, look here, an option to add a join button. It will have a different look than the donate button, but it will be one that from your homepage you can check the box and say I want to add my join button there. Aside from that, that is like the most prominent place that it will be for a red and blue site, since the sidebar is visible on all pages. From there, then it would probably be you'd probably want to edit your join page to add buttons to that as well.
So I can leave my join button in the sidebar because I want them to go to my membership page.
Yeah. So then you would
Right.
probably opt out for the pre-designated button and just keep using the button you already have there that's set up to go to your specific join page on your website.
And then I will do all the modifications I need to do to my join page to get people to the right place on Chapter Spot, right?
Yes.
Using some of these wonderful examples people have shown here that I
Yes.
will probably take advantage of. So, and then about the timing, Mike was saying that we need to turn off our existing membership at the end of January, but we're not going to be able to use the new membership until the 3rd. Does that mean that we're basically going to have a dark period where nobody can do their membership for a few days?
What it's sounding like, unfortunately.
I would say yes. Again, I've asked that question, how do we account for those days now? And I have not gotten an answer. So again, you'll have to ask your treasurer how they want to do that. Do they want to still collect dues from February 1st to the 2nd under the old way before the new one is ready?
Yeah,
I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely don't want people to want to join us and find no way to do it.
Yep,
So,
agreed.
so I guess that's probably the situation unless we hear something different, I guess.
You could do my page, I think I might just put it out there on February 1st with a little wording at the top with this will be active on February 3rd.
Do we know for sure that we can't do it early?
Do what early?
Set it up early ahead of
The links don't work. You can set it up, I guess, but the links don't work.
The links won't work until February 3rd.
I believe so.
That's what they said.
So because they said as close as possible to that date. So they mean the 3rd or after?
Yeah, as close, I mean, even possibly before, but I think anytime before will probably be what we're getting now, and I think it's just a non-working link.
So it sounds to me like any time between when the links work and when you take off the old stuff, you'll just have to have a statement on your site saying, please bear with us. We're under transition and, come back on this date and join. Seems like
Yeah,
that's the
that
only
is,
solution I see.
yeah,
Yeah,
it sounded like it.
I mean, unless we leave up our old page and like Mike said, it'll make more work for our treasurer. Because it'll go into our PayPal account, our existing PayPal account, and then they'll have to deal with those members. Hopefully, I mean, it's only a couple of days, so it's not like we get a gazillion people trying to join every day, but still, could
Right,
be
yeah, you never
complicated.
know.
Well, see, that was the rub for us because we are on calendar years for our dues. And the January 31st is the last 30 days for our members to join, which they usually take advantage of. And some bleed over into February. So for our chapter, this was a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, ours are our semi-annual, in the middle. We have the split year. So it's not as much of a problem. Thank you.
Yeah, Nancy.
Well, I thought I had a handle on things, but now I'm totally confused. I
Mm-hmm.
really expected to be, them to give us templates and guide us through this whole thing. So if people they have to join and put in their personal information, and then they have to go to, and that will take them to Stripe where they pay. So we'll have two different. So when they renew, they're not going to renew from our site. They're going to have to go to the national site. How will people know where that is? Will it be like when they get renewal letters? Will there be a link in that? Is that how they're supposed to know that that's where they have to go?
That's what it's sounding like for renewal time. It sounds like they will be getting an email with a link. I'm not sure exactly which link it will be. And since I don't know that, I don't know if it will lead them to a page where they then have to choose their league or if the link will be specifically to their league. Yeah, that is still a bit of an unknown. But as far as the first email that's going out, I think that's going to be a separate place, like the registration versus the renewal or join form.
Now, when you sent out that email the other day and asked for our redirect information, were you asking for the redirect link that they sent us, our individual redirect or our individual URL or whatever that we want, or are we supposed to be sending you our join page?
Only for those that do want to have their join page redirect. So I've been using Mike's page just as an example. What I often have seen in the way that MyLO leagues will use or have their join or renew process set up is the first page will be something informative, and then they'll use a separate page for the actual membership form. So if your league still wanted to have this like menu link or wherever you use this URL for the membership form, you could submit this for a redirect, and then we would have it go directly to your new join/renew form on ChapterSpot. That was the idea. So it's not a requirement to have a redirect, but it's just in case if you have, that specific membership form links displayed anywhere, then we would redirect it for you.
So that URL that they sent us the other day, is that which is not active now.
Right.
Is that a membership form that they sent us?
Yes, that is the new membership form.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the idea for the form that I sent out for the redirect request is if you have something similar like this set up where that separate membership form could then be redirected to the new one.
Okay, so we could have this join or renew page with all the information. And that's what I should send you. And then within the membership, if I have a separate page for membership form, I can create a link to that, what they sent me the other day.
So it would be the other way around. If you were wanting a redirect, it would be the membership form link that you would send to me.
Okay.
So that you could keep the join or renew page as an informational piece if you so choose to keep that.
Okay.
Mary Jo.
My people don't renew till July 1st.
Okay. So yeah, not as bad for your league either, it sounds. Mary Jo. Oh, you're muted. Mary Jo, you're muted.
Thank you.
Mhm.
I guess I was thinking we would, retain the membership page we have with just some general information and then edit it appropriately.
Mhm.
And somewhere on that page would be a link, and I guess it's the one that they've sent, to go on to Chapter Spot or the new membership thing.
Yes. And I think that's what makes it hard because I'm going to say yes to all of these things. There's so many ways to do it, and it really depends on a lot on how your league wants to do it, but probably mostly on how you as a webmaster want to set this up. You have the control in choosing, do you want it to be overly informative and have, multiple pages? You can have, what we've been referring to as the intermediary page and have the buttons directly on there. You could have, even a separate page that's like, this is a deep dive into all the information, everything you want to know about the membership change.
You could have a link to Chapter Spot on the leagues, the National League. I mean, you
Right.
could.
Yeah, you could set this up in so many different ways. And then the buttons that we're going to be bringing out, the MyLO team, you can use those too, so that if you did want to have them going directly to that new portal link, that new join form, then we could replace that button. You would have another option to have a button in your sidebar. So it really depends on, like I said, on you, how you want to set this up. And we're going to be, live demonstrating that stuff in the special sessions. But I think we have training videos too that talk about like how to add a button, how to embed a video, how to upload an image. Most of those things are what you need to make the necessary changes to your page.
But we could, but so theoretically, we could keep what we've got and then have it put in the link to the new Chapter Spot. And so when people see join at the side of our sidebar and they see it on top, they're still going to go to our, I guess I call it an intermediary page. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I don't know what email form. Somebody said that we got some kind of email this week about membership questions or something.
I don't know if there was
Did I
an
hear wrong?
email. There was some emails in the Google group if it was about that. I did send out something on the 21st, but that
you
was
said
just
something.
about
Okay.
that was just like talking about the buttons that we will be producing.
Oh, okay, I misheard. Thank you.
But there was other discussions amongst the other webmasters, so I don't know if there was a mention about that.
Okay, thank you.
Judy.
Would you mind going to my page? Washington State, Benton Franklin.
Right?
Yeah. So we have the old-fashioned thing. On my membership or join on the sidebar, join. Okay. So you come to that page and scroll down how do you join? So you get to this point, and this is what's confusing me. So, okay, all this is information I can change and do things, but
Mhm.
how do I join? So it says fill out this form. I probably should get rid of that. Is that correct? Because what we need to do is just click here and it takes you to the national chapter spot form. Is that what's going to happen? Because right now
Yeah.
it takes it to the form that we use.
On MyLO, right?
Yeah.
So this is another good example of you could submit this one for a redirect. You wouldn't have to change the content at all. All I need is, you
Redirect.
right click and you copy the link, and that's what you would submit for me to redirect to your new portal. And essentially, after the redirect, they click just fill out the form there, and then they'll be taken to the new page.
Aren't we
The
able to
new
do that
form.
ourselves to change the
You
link?
are, yeah.
Okay.
So like I said, the number one reason for the redirect being so helpful is if it's in places where you really no longer can edit. You always have editing access to your own website, but if it were if you publish an online voter, sometimes those get archived, so might not be as easy to access them to edit. But yeah, so you can either submit it for a redirect, or you can just go in here and replace the URL that you have with the new
With
membership
the
link.
one that they sent us. Is
Mhm.
that correct? Okay, because I was working on this yesterday and I have three places you can click, like to donate
Mhm.
and to join. And one of them said it wasn't working. So I have them all working now. And so they all go to the same place. And, so all those are fixed. But if I need to redirect, when you talk about redirect, that's what gets me confused. So on this little form right here, if you say fill out this form, if I change that code, that's a redirect. Is
If
that what you
you
call?
if you change it yourself, then that's just editing the page. But let's say, so another way that a redirect is helpful is if you have this same link on several places of your website. Instead of having to edit those several places, what I do in the back end is I tell the system anywhere you find this URL, which is, let's just put it on a notepad again. I would say take this URL and always send it to whatever specific portal link is for Benton Franklin County's league. So if we set up the redirect, then let's say you have this in 5 different places on your site, then you only submit the redirect once, and it changes for all 5 of those pages or wherever it is. If you go in and edit, then you are having to change it in those 5 separate places.
Whatever was wrong with it yesterday, they all had the right words, but they weren't directing, it wasn't going the right place. They are now, but this is very confusing for people like me. Whoever had that nice switch your language on the other web page, I sure like that better than what I have here. It's prettier.
Oh, I think we have some images. Let me see
You
if I
have
can.
more, yeah, because you had a really nice looking one. People don't notice it when it's got the arrows like that. They just don't. Yeah.
Ooh, this, I think if you search in the media library, I think
Okay.
if you search, oh no, let me search it
That's
myself actually.
yeah,
Is
it's
there in
very attractive compared to what we have right here.
Yeah, there are I think 2 or 3 different versions of that image, and they should be easy to find. Let's see if they're under Google.
Yeah, her membership page looks a lot like what ours used to look like, and I moved all the information about how to join to the top because I didn't think people should have to read through 5 paragraphs of how great is the League of Women Voters before they got to the link that lets them join.
They
Totally
wouldn't be
get
at your
that.
page if they didn't know.
Right.
Okay, so I did find it. Whoops. If you search in the media library, Google_translate. I'm gonna try and copy it for you. There's 3 different versions. You'll see one that's just Google Translate. And then there's Google Translate Purple. Or actually, the one that is just simply Google Translate might be something different. But Google Translate Purple, Google Translate Red, sans serif.
It's probably the one that would.
Those are 2 different versions, it looks like, that I have uploaded and available for anybody to access.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a high school student helping me with the webpage, and what a joy. She went to college.
Oh no.
Although she said she would help me, she would try to find some time to help me, but I miss her.
Oh, I bet.
So
We'll try to be here as much as we can.
I just ask one more clarifying question. Okay,
Yeah.
again, maybe I'm just obtuse, but why would a league want to have on their website a membership application? That's going to come from national. What am I missing?
The only
You
thing
are,
it would
you are
be
correct.
yeah, you are correct. You wouldn't want a form on your website, but the recommendation I had was if you do have one, then you would have it redirect to the new one. So that could still the thing that it leaves it as after you have a redirect is that you have a menu item for it. Or you could just create your own menu item. It it really was to just make it easier for anybody who has that link in multiple places, but you technically do not need to have it up at all anymore. And that is what Mike said he's going to do for his league. He does have a membership form up currently, but after the 3rd, that page will go out and then he'll only have the join or renew where he has the buttons directly on the page.
Because I don't know how it's going to show up, but I was asking Nora about one of our board members wanted something added to the things you could get involved in. And in answer to that, I think she sent me back to the chapter page, or maybe I found it on my own, but it shows an example of an application form. And one is I think it's the default one, and then there's a Canva one that you could maybe work with. So I'm assuming, I don't know, but that somehow when you go to Chapter Spot, it's going to give you this form, I guess. I mean, I don't know if that's because we wouldn't be filling out a PDF form. We'd be filling out
No,
something interactive.
the form is going to sit on the chapter spot side. The manual ones they gave us, the template, and the one we can customize is if we have members that still don't want to go to the website and want to do it manually.
Yeah. So are you going to put that information on your membership page?
No, because later on in that same explanation, they discourage us from advertising.
That's what I thought. So if they really want to join, then they contact us through the website. Okay.
So I'm gonna have to get with my treasurer and membership chairman to figure out where they want to put the manual process. How's that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if
Because they're gonna have to know it.
Right. Maybe make it a private page if your other league leaders have access to your MyLO site.
I haven't seen anything about how we can ask questions of people that are joining. Has that come out, or is that on the resource page? Did I miss it?
You mean to membership
like ask their
Yeah,
interest?
you know how we're supposed to be able to ask them questions about what they want to do. Have you seen that?
Membership at leaguelwv.org. Membership at. And Nora answers those questions usually.
Oh, okay.
Our league did that. We actually had a committee of us that talked about what we wanted, and then it was submitted from a group discussion, and I was included in that.
Okay, I'll find.
We have members who do not have computers. They do not use computers.
Right.
So, and never want them. It's part of
Definitely.
being accepting of all people.
Yeah, this is where we find all the unique cases come out.
Yep.
We're doing our best here. But
Take a deep breath.
yeah, that's what I gotta remind, league members when we talk, and gotta remind myself sometimes too, because it is a work in progress for sure.
Yes, I guess for full disclosure for the group, I used to be a transition manager for 10 years before I retired. So I used to do global implementations. So I'm aware of looking at the collateral we have and some of the shortcomings it has. But again, just take a deep breath. We'll get through this. Try not to get discouraged. Keep in contact with everybody.
Yeah.
Any problem you have is not your own. Other people have the same ones. Just don't get down on yourself. That won't help you.
Well
We
said,
have a
Mike.
group in our league that we're going to contact our membership, and we offer to go to their homes to help them if they want help logging in.
That's very nice.
Yeah. I've done that in the past. Believe it or not, I'm capable.
Hey, you're a webmaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really neat. Yeah,
At least on
with
paper.
very little knowledge. I limp along.
Well, that was the
But
other
I'm
thing
still
too, because
doing it.
they've got the different functions, the 4 or 5 different functions for like webmaster and membership and the rest of them. Well, we do those functions too, but they're not necessarily by the people that they have identified as. So I'm sure we're all in that same boat. So don't get discouraged by that.
What if one person's doing everything?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've heard, and I think we already know, just as league, sometimes people do wear those many, many hats.
Yes.
So yeah.
Have you been asked recently how many volunteer hours you spend a month? Every league is trying to come up with to report. They have their annual report, they have to fill it out. And I got asked yesterday, and I thought, oh boy, here's my guess.
You're like, I don't even want to put a number to it.
Volunteer hours.
My wife tells me they don't want to know how many hours they put in.
Yeah, definitely could feel that. And especially right now when it's a lot more stuff probably that you've been getting into, since it's just a lot up in the air still. So
Plus, we have state studies that we're doing in the national study and revising the state policies and procedures. I'm doing all those things. It's fun.
Good league
Otherwise,
fun.
I'd have to act retired.
Where's,
So,
can I just ask the Kathleen, is it in the chat?
Which one? Oh, I think yes, that was
Are you Kathy or Kathleen? What are you?
Kathy's link is the join new. I'm gonna drop it again.
Okay, thanks.
The most recent.
I clicked something and it didn't look like what I had seen.
Yeah,
California
so
Diablo.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and I still have it up. I think. No, I don't. But yeah, if anybody wants any
that
of the
looks good
pages
there.
that we showed
Yep.
today, if they want them cloned, then I can clone them over. They can stay in draft until you need them. Or if you needed to just clone it and you put the content wherever else you need it, however you'd like to do it. But I think did we have any last comment?
It's just funny when I went to print it, it looks different, the font and everything. That's why I was confused. I don't understand it. But anyway, I'm not gonna worry about it.
Well, if you wanted
Not
it
because it's
saved,
in draft, maybe.
if you wanted it saved it as a draft on your site, let me know and I can clone it.
No, I'll talk to Jennifer about it. Yeah,
Okay.
thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I'd like things cloned and dropped.
Could you
Or
send me
just-
an email, Nancy, either
Yes.
to A LeBron or MyLO and just a small note, and I'll get those. I'll go ahead and save the links to these so that I'll have them for myself for later. Yeah, so oh, sorry, let me copy that.
But I really would, you know, like Mike said, the people that are getting a new website with Chapter Spot, I mean, if they're giving them, you know, some language, you know, could they at least give us that? I don't know.
Really
Yeah.
basic though.
Basic,
What?
basic.
Yeah, their website looked really, really basic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, as far as the website, the controls did not seem like you were able to change much. So that is very basic, but I wonder what the content, what the actual text is that they're giving.
Yeah, what do they provide, the national providing, yeah, just to give us some hints.
I'll see what I can ask. But yeah, I will get back to everybody in email and in the Google group so that we can talk about a special session next Friday and then not next Monday, but the following. Yeah, I'll have dates and time. Well, those will be the dates, but I'll have times for those sessions. All right, folks. Thank you very much. Yeah, I always love to have these discussion sessions. I think it also, even if we leave these without having complete answers to our questions, they're very helpful sometimes. So we will see each other again via email and the Google group.
Thanks,
All right,
everyone.
folks. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.